Let me tell you something. This is a conversation with Harish Uday Kumar and Pamela Bag. Ma'am is the founder of Ajana Digital, a company that helps a lot of companies to run better ads. At the end of the day, reach right people. And she is Forbes 30 under 30 Asia. And Harish is the co-founder of Blue Learn. The conversation between both of these two is extremely diverse because both come from different industries. And this is one of those conversations that I believe every single student out there should definitely watch. This is one of those conversations which is all about supernaturality and how things really are out there and what are those things that people should really focus on, at least in their super initial stages. So I hope you find value. Let's get started. You meet a lot of people and you've built a very good network. How do you do that?
So I basically started from the bottom. Like I didn't grow up with like a network or anything, but I always had to make sure that I built up my network. And during study days, I applied to so many jobs and it's like nobody would take me. And so I quickly learned that in order to really get a job, you have to know people. So just having the skills is not enough. And so I started working with a student organization. I started getting like several other jobs. I made sure that I traveled a little bit, that I went to conferences. So there were a lot of opportunities to meet people. And that was kind of also the beginning that enabled me to have like 3 people refer me, for example, applying to work at Google.
Oh, wow. So you got to Google because you had the net.
Yes. And because I was good at interviewing probably as well. And, I had a good background, but it definitely helped a lot.
Jeez. What do you suggest to people who are introverted, like people?
So I think that these days it's not an excuse anymore because you can do everything from your home. You don't have to go out. You can meet people online. You can engage in online communities and online forums and online groups, right? So you can keep that to minimum, but by still building a network, right? So when you post on social media, you don't always have to have it face there, right? Put a good quote or something there or use Twitter. There's a medium for everybody these days.
What's your favorite online movie?
It's so difficult to say. I think I still value Facebook groups or meta groups, but we'd have to observe to see how they develop and where they go.
But is any group that you like something?
So I run different industry-specific ones for Google Ads, but then pretty much whatever you're looking for to learn in your life, like you can find a group for that and you can find people to engage with and that, resonate with. So just search and find something.
Pat, is this your first time at Bangalore?
Yeah.
What do you find most surprising about Bangalore?
So I think, for a lot of people from abroad, we think that Bangalore is this kind of like small city where we don't know much about. And then you come here and you just have this huge like tech community and tech spaces. And one of my friends told me that in one of the main tech hubs here, every week, 10 million people cross that, which is an insane amount of number. Like that's an insane amount of people, right? Yeah. And there's an incredible potential here. The vibe is completely different from North India. The food is amazing. Like, I think there's so many opportunities here for everybody.
You like dosa and idli?
Absolutely. Any food is fine for you.
Pat, do you think it was easy for you because you're from Europe?
So, there's certain cultural differences and, we definitely have like running water and electricity that's always there, which is an advantage. But what most people often forget is that we share the same struggles all over the world. So I didn't really have an easy upbringing. I was bullied as a child for the whole time I was at school. My parents had a 6.5-year-old course that I had to deal with. And I did my nurse my family. My parents didn't study, I didn't finish their studies. So there were a lot of steps that I had to discover where I did have a role model and I had to figure it out by myself. And so there were a lot of first times that nobody could guide me in.
Wow, that's surprising because I think for a lot of Indians, right, the moment you see people from the West, you're like, oh, it was easy for that. Things were like, they're super privileged, had everything set up for them. And this struggle part is something that a lot of people cannot see through.
Yeah, and I think that's also a way of thinking that holds us back, right? Because it says, I cannot do it because of X, Y, Z. So it disempowers me, right? Instead of asking, what is it that I can do? Because to be honest, now we all have access to internet. We all have almost the same opportunities. So it's just a beautiful world to live in. And whatever you want to do, you can do it.
Do it. So wherever you're born, it's fine. The world's open right now.
Yes.
Bam. How important is sleep to you?
So it's super important because for me, it gives me the energy and the base for everything that I want to do. Without sleep, you're not productive at all. In fact, for guys who sleep less than 5 to 6 hours every night, they lose 10 years of their lives and a lot of other parts of their health, right? So for me, I need my 9 hours sleep every single night because you also cannot catch up on sleep, right? Like it's super, super important. We've seen that studies have shown the less sleep that you have, the less productive you are. So for every hour you lose sleep, you usually add another hour because you're just trying to be busy, but you're not productive.
So I speak to a lot of college students, and a lot of them are confused about what to do with their careers and what to do next. Do you have any suggestions?
Sure. So I think I'm kind of unique qualified to answer that question because I studied business, and that's what you study when you don't know what you want to do later on, right? So I think what's important is not that you have to know what you want to do in 5 or 10 years, right? That's a question a lot of recruiters ask, and I would always have to make up an answer to that. What I think is important is that you know what's going to be your next step. And then doing that next step with all you love and dedication that you can, right? And doing something that you like, trying something out. Not necessarily taking your next step because it's going to look good on your CV, but because it's something that brings you joy, makes you build up skills, makes you maybe discover a new area. So whatever that is, and then step by step, you will see that things will start making sense and you will discover what you like and what you don't. And you won't know it unless you've tried it out.
That's great advice. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching.
So what's your next set of